Hi folks, this is Tommy Asobi, and today I'm going to give some recommendations as far as starter armor that you can use in Monster Hunter Wilds. So I'll be giving some armor recommendations for both low rank and high rank, and these are based on actual experience from me and my colleague who helped me with this review, Nishiro. Thanks, man. Now these are all-rounder armor sets that work well with a variety of weapons, making them conducive for trying out a bunch of weapon choices and also weapon switching when you're mid-hunt. And as far as the starter high rank armor, we actually used our starter armors all the way to the end. And so we actually beat every monster in the game with these quote-unquote starter armors for high rank. So they actually work pretty well. You might just need to upgrade them with armor spheres so they can still withstand attacks from the strongest monsters in the game, but that's not till maybe halfway through high rank, or maybe even towards the end. It just depends on how much you get hit or not. On that note, here are our recommendations for the best all-rounder or starter armor sets for Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm sure folks can come up with their own great starter armor sets as well, but these are the ones we used. Number 1, it's the Hope Armor Set. Now when you first start the game, you'll have your choice of several armor sets, and so personally for me, even though I like the look of the leather armor, it had kind of that classic Monster Hunter look. When I looked at the skill sets, unfortunately the skills for that armor wasn't that great. And so out of all the starter armors, the Hope Armor Set actually has the best skills, I think. And so with the Hope Armor Set, you get Divine Blessing level 3, which is the maximum level for that skill, and then Stun Resistance level 2, which is not quite the max, but still pretty helpful. So Divine Blessing basically reduces the damage you take by half at level 3 anytime it activates. So that's great, especially if you're just starting out in the game, or if you're a new player, so you're not used to the monsters yet, and you might get hit more often than not. So it's always great to have some damage mitigation. And then same with Stun Resistance. This basically greatly reduces how long you stay dizzy when you get hit too much by a monster. So in my case, most of my carts usually come from me getting dizzy. Usually because I'm not paying attention and I'm fighting the monster near a wall or something, and then I just get wall slammed, and the next thing I know I'm dizzy, and that's all she wrote. Yeah, so as far as the very beginning of the game, when you get the choice to pick from those armor sets, I'd go ahead and pick the Hope Armor Set, even though I think it kind of looks a little bit goofy. Oh, yuck. The heck. Okay, now we go to the actual armor sets that you craft. So for low rank, my recommendation would be to use a mix set combining Doshiguma and Balahara armor pieces. So as far as the one I personally use, that would be Doshiguma Helm for the head, Doshiguma Mail for the chest, Doshiguma Braces for the arms, the Balahara Coil for the waist, and then the Doshiguma Greaves for the legs. Now this is a solid low-rank option that boasts great survivability and quality of life, plus a nice power-up for hunters who use weapons that can do offset attacks and clashes. Man, I love offset attacks and clashes. You don't even know how many times I got hit trying to perform these. But when you do pull them off, oh man, so good. So I believe 9 out of the 14 weapons in the game can do an offset attack or a clash. So for a clash, you just need to have a shield. And then for the offset attack, there's just certain weapons that have attacks that you can use to basically counter a charging monster and then send them backwards. So every time you do that with a max Doshaguma's Might buff active, I believe you get plus 25 attack, and it lasts for a long time. Like, it lasts way longer than, say, Offensive Guard. So it's great to have if you happen to be using one of those weapons that can use offsets or clashes. Now, one of the key features of this set is its maxed out free meal level 3. So that basically provides a 45% chance for you to consume items like potions or mega potions for free. So think of it as practically doubling the amount of healing and recovery items that you bring, making for a very comfy hunt. You know, just jump on your secret, start healing. I mean, the support is kind of OP in this game. And then for the waist, I switched in the Balahara Coil, because the Doshiguma waist piece basically has, item prolonger, which I guess is okay, but I prefer to have something else in there. So I switched in the Balahara waist in order to get Evade Extender level 1. Now in case you're using a weapon that doesn't exactly benefit from Doshaguma's Might, I think it's also okay to swap out the Doshiguma Braces for the Balahara Braces, and then that way you get Evade Extender level 2, which can be helpful in a pinch, since it basically makes your evasions cover a greater distance. So stuff that maybe you might not have been able to dodge before might be dodgeable because of that extra distance. Yeah, and then I use that for all of low rank. I mean, there's really no point in doing a lot of armors while you're in low rank, because unlike weapons, you can't upgrade armor to high rank. So just pick an armor set that works for you, and then stick with it until you get to high rank. And then as far as high rank, we have two options. First one is the Doshiguma Alpha set. Yes, I really like the Doshiguma armor set. I feel like a snake oil salesman on the street trying to hawk this Doshiguma armor set to everybody who passes by. And so you have the Alpha and the Beta version. The Beta has fewer skills, or lower level skills, but then it comes with more decoration slots. So it all depends on how many decorations you have. But early in the game, you don't have that many decorations, so I just stuck with the Alpha version to just max out the amount of skills that I could get. And boy, does this thing come with some pretty nice skills as far as quality of life, comfiness, and survivability. So even before you put decorations in, this is what you get. You get free meal level 3, which is the max level, stun resistance level 3, which again is the max level, latent power level 3, and then you get recovery up level 2, stamina surge level 2, the Doshiguma's Might 4-piece bonus, which is the max, and then fortifying pelt. So there's free meal once again, which ensures you don't run out of items unless you're having a really bad day. Or a bad hunt. And then there's recovery up level 2, which helps boost your health recovery. And then this set maxes out stun resistance, so you're never gonna go dizzy. I mean, a monster can like bite you, chew you up, swallow you, spit you out. And as long as you still have some HP left, you are not gonna get dizzy. So that's really good for survivability. And then in case you still do faint after all of that, which can happen, you got fortifying pelt, which basically grants you the fortify skill. And so every time you cart, your attack and your defense actually goes up for the rest of the hunt. And this can happen up to 2 times. So now you can't like cheese it anymore and have insurance and then just like fortify every time you cart. And then latent power provides a nice affinity boost when it activates if you want to do more critical attacks, plus a stamina buff to boot. And then speaking of stamina, you get stamina surge to level 2, which further helps with stamina management. And then depending on what weapons or decorations you have, you can just slot in whatever skills you want. So you can put in focus for weapons like Great Sword, or guard for weapons like Lance. And then once again, you get the full Doshiguma's Might bonus, so you get a really nice buff every time you successfully clash or offset attack against a monster. And then even if you don't have a weapon that can do those 2 moves, it's still a really good all-rounder armor set. Now in my case, I actually swapped out the waist for a Chematrix waist. Is that how you pronounce it? Because I was kind of worried about the horrible fire defense, and so I switched in the Chematrix waist from the Rooster Lizard monster to beef up my fire resistance. But now that I think about it, I should have just stuck with latent power. I mean, it's a choice between survivability and taking down the monster faster, pretty much so. It's up to you with what you're comfortable with. And then for the second high rank option, we have a Guardian Ebony Odogaron mix set with a Guardian Doshiguma piece. So Doshiguma again, except the Guardian version this time. So this set was used by my colleague Munishiro, who helped me review the game. And he usually uses a bow. So this set was good for that, but it can also be good for other weapons, as you'll see. This one focuses mainly on the burst skill, so it's especially good for weapons that hit fast, and then also range weapons, such as bow and bowgun. Now here are the pieces that you need for this set. So for the head, you need the Guardian Ebony Helm Beta, and then for the chest, you need the Guardian Doshiguma Male Beta, and then for the arms, the Guardian Ebony Braces Alpha, for the waist, the Guardian Ebony Coil Beta, and then for the legs, the Guardian Ebony Greaves Alpha. So before even adding decorations and then weapon skills to the mix, you will have the following skills. First is Burst level 5, which is maxed out. Next is Divine Blessing level 3, which is also maxed out. Then you get Constitution level 2, which helps with stamina. And then Earplugs level 1, which is kind of alright, but I guess it's just there because of the pieces that we're using. And then you get the set bonus, Ebony Odogaron's Power, from using 4 pieces of its armor, and that grants you Burst Boost 2, which is maxed out again. So like I said, this one is based on the Burst skill, which basically boosts your attack and elemental attack with every hit, granting a huge bonus by the 5th hit. And then this is further enhanced by the Max Burst Boost 2 skill, which is the buff from the Guardian Odogaron 4-piece bonus, which not only extends the duration of burst, but also throws in attack plus 10. And then while this isn't as comfy as the previous Doshiguma set in terms of survivability, it still comes with the staple Divine Blessing level 3, which reduces damage taken by 50% when it activates, so that can make a big difference in you surviving a big attack or getting a free ride on the kitty cart. And then like I said, Constitution helps with stamina, and at the level you have, it basically reduces fixed stamina depletion by 20%. And then as far as the other set bonus, that would be Guardian's Protection, which reduces the damage when you're in the ruins of Wyveria. So it's a bit situational, but still nice to have if you're fighting a monster on that map. Now, since this has 3 beta armor pieces, you can actually slot in a lot more decorations, so you can really tailor it to your needs. Anyway, there you go, our armor recommendations for Monster Hunter Wilds. We've personally used these sets against the toughest monsters of the game, so we do know that they get the job done, all the way to endgame. As always, if you have any thoughts or questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments section. In fact, put your recommendations in the comments too. Let's all help everybody out. It's one of the best things about this community. Now go out there and get hunting. Once again, this is Tabi. Thank you for watching.
Llevar.